We've been busy just doing month end and calendar, month end and year end reports. And just the construction debris continues to be a problem in that there's so much construction going on around. Everybody's wanting to bring it to the centers to get rid of it. For a recycling report, the total revenues was 40,201.80, and we had 291.80 tons. Landfill expenses for the quarter, 151,493.07, and the decimal point is in the wrong place on the tonnage. It should be 3,017.79 tons. Our savings by not having gone to the landfill with our commodities, 13,399.41. And then just for January, our landfill disposal costs 44,148.90. Our tonnage was 879.46, which was down quite a bit. For all of last year, we were up 251.50 tons over the year before. So that's a really hefty increase in garbage. The year before that, well, in 22-23, it was 101 tons. 23-24 was 131, and then 24-25 was 251. And that price increase equated to $142,000. So it's costing us a lot for garbage. Any questions?
I assume we associate that with just growth in the...
Yes, growth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the price had gone up when we had to renegotiate the price with ISWA. So
what we're paying to dispose,
yeah.
but the tonnage itself...
Oh, yeah, the tonnage itself is due to the increase in the people in the county.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other questions? Thank you for your report. Up next, HR.
Hello, everyone. You all have the numbers of onboarding and offboardings that the HR office conducted for the appropriate time period. Job postings, right now, currently, we have positions advertised for juvenile detention as a full-time position. We have an E911 dispatcher that we're looking to fill that position. Our corrections officer positions are also ongoing. We have paramedic and AEMT opportunities on our job boards, as well as a full-time custodian with the maintenance department. Recently filled positions, we had one full-time paramedic and we had several part-time paramedic and AEMT positions we needed to fill. We had a couple of part-time fire that moved to full-time fire status. And we also did some onboarding for some COs as well. So January being the first of the calendar year, there's always just some housekeeping things that we do in the HR office. One of those is just checking up on all of our employees with the medical, dental, and vision changes, because our open enrollment for those products is in October. Our life insurance is November. So just making sure, I get a lot of correspondence from individuals within the county with questions about cards and all of those things. But for this calendar year, the medical for county employees stayed with Blue Cross Blue Shield and Cigna as their options. And IMED still retains the iVision contract with the state that we are on with as a local government entity. But we did have a change in vendor for our dental. Cigna still stays the HMO dental provider, but MetLife became the new PPO dental provider for county employees. So we're rocking along with those changes. Also assisted the county payroll clerk on the county side for distribution of W-2s to county employees as those were prepared by their office. They always do an awesome job. Shelby's great. at getting all those things done. So I just want to give her a shout out because she does an awesome job. And 401 and 457 retirement meetings for the quarter were conducted. That has been an ongoing goal that you all hear about in my monthly reports, because I want the employees to understand and have the opportunity to speak and see the retirement opportunities that they have through their pension plans, and the opportunity to invest in a 401 as a retirement path. But most importantly, just making sure they know how to access, they know what their contributions are going to, they know how to access their annual statements that are prepared by the state retirement office, and that they know how to update their beneficiary information and change their beneficiary information in a timely manner for those products. So I've been working a lot on that, participated in some legislative classes online. I always like to see what's going on personnel-wise, if there's anything floating around that we need to know about on medical and things like that. So I did that this past week. And then I also, I had talked several months ago about AI and its impact on HR, and just things that I was looking at in my office, and just a very quick update on that. We already have some AI set up with the software that was purchased by the county almost 5.5 years ago. It does the auto replies upon application submission, which streamlines the process, but it makes sure that applicants know that their application was received and it's going through the process. So that's a good thing. And I also used AI for a lot of the report formats. That has cleaned up a lot and made everything uniform. So that's great. But trying to keep the balance and making sure the HR office feels personal and that people have that personal touch, but also being able to create time-effective management in my office for things that can be done quicker with the one-person office. That's been a good thing. And then the electronic onboarding is what I'm looking for as a secondary opportunity to in-person. So that's where I'm at on AI. Any questions?
Any questions for? All right. AI is a thing. All right. Thank you. Next, archives.
Well, we've been steadily working. At this time of year, our visitors and or requests for research are down, so we work on our other archival work, which is our records retention. We're working more on organizing the more modern records that we've taken in and getting them ready. We're getting all of those more modern wills and state records in storage and in care for. So with that, we're doing more of that, and we're also getting a great deal of that indexed so that we can go straight to the box and not have to rummage around and do a lot of things, and get it very quickly expedited out back to either Chancery or to the client that's requested it. We were having a great deal of abstract probate work requests for various things in the past. And so we're doing a great deal of that. And that's helped a great deal with our volunteers. Our volunteers have been doing a great deal of the indexing and improving the records physically and getting them where we can find them, just put our hands on them very quickly. The other things is I'm excited about the records building. Everything is getting finished up. The ramp is done. The awning over it is complete. I watched it very carefully with all this ice and snow to see how it was going to survive, and it did a great job of draining off and everything without any stress on the awning itself. So we're still working with Patterson Pope, and they're working up the supplies and equipment for our compact shelving. And the window treatments got finished just today. Everything, all of them. Some of them had to be reordered, back ordered, and so we met down there, and we're working with the records building as well as with them to get that finished up. Any questions?
Okay, thank you for that update. Now, this work also, you're getting grant money in some capacities to assist, but other is archive fees are backfilling for us to be able to do these.
All of the updates and upgrades to the building are on our budget. and our fiscal budget. So the grant that I do get is going into archival supplies, folders, boxes that are preservation quality, and so we use those to help with the more historic records, the 1890s, the 1900s, those records. So that's where we go with those,
Perfect.
and that is in the process right now and getting it going.
Linda?
And Mayor Carol and I've talked, whenever she gives the high sign to do it, we want to get everything vacuumed inside there and the windows cleaned and that front entrance really cleaned up a little bit.
It's
But-
looking
so
it's
we're-
looking a whole lot better itself already. So everything is looking great. Oh, by the way, we were talking about the Rock Jail. MTSU is indeed going to come down, Center for Historic Preservation, and they have the opportunity to do some recommendations for not necessarily reuse, but interpretation as a historic site. And so we're going to meet with them this month and get that started. I'm looking forward to the program and the reports that they pull together. We pulled together the history for them. We've done that for their other projects in Bedford County. They've done 3 very historic cemeteries and done a full historical reference and preservation recommendations for the cemetery. They've done the same thing for the Singleton Chapman Tavern in Fairfield, if you know that historic site. It's one of the oldest buildings over there. And they've done that recommendation. And so you can always look at those Bedford County reports on their website. And so next up is the Rock Jail and New Hope Cemetery, if you know where New Hope is in Fairfield.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. Next is our architect and owner rep. I was with him today. I don't think he's here tonight. He was out working our projects, but I walked through at the juvenile and the surplus and the 911, and we're making great progress there. So there's a lot of moving parts and pieces. We're on track for our timeline, so we're excited about that. The report is in your packet, and we can get specific questions answered if you guys wind up with them. All right. Next is our monthly reports.
You have a monthly report, and I would like to just point out on page 1, we've got 42% of our revenue that we budgeted, and on page 3, we have used 42% of our expenditures. So we're pretty much on track on everything. If you look at federal projects, you'll sometimes see that the expenditure's more because we have to be reimbursed. And I think SACP was kind of like that too, but they've restructured their budget, so they should be fine. So I don't have anything unusual to report in the monthly reports.
Okay. Yeah, moving on.
Okay, next is your analysis of property tax collections. And you'll see that we have collected we're down 314,000 from the same period last year. Prior year collections are 260,000 ahead of the same time last year. Page 2, on clerk and master collections, we're down 18,000 from the same time last year. Sales tax, we are ahead 377,000 from the same time last year. And also, we've only had one mineral severance tax collection there quarterly, and we are ahead of what we had from the prior period. You then have your travel, your statement that has a lot of expenditures. There's travel, there's gas, there's natural gas. Anything over the average, which is 50%, is marked in red, and that's because that we're halfway through the year. So we're just comparing to the average.
Is there questions on these reports? All right. We'll approve these after the other reports. Right. Okay. And so now we're ready for other reports. EMS right there.
All right, so it's been a pretty busy last couple of weeks for public safety, us especially. I wanted to start by thanking all of our staff. We had most of our staff recommend or volunteer to come in and stay at stations throughout these last couple of weeks with the train derailment and the weather and more weather. And that really goes for all of public safety, and finance department I know helped us with some emergency POs just in case we had contingencies that came up, and especially the highway department. You guys, we have a very good public safety system in this county, and everybody works really well together. I won't bore you with the details about what goes into all that planning, but we start from, just like the schools, I'm sure, start from the announcement of an event all the way through to the end of an event. And there's a lot that goes into that. So really, I just want to thank everybody that was a part of that and volunteered, and our staff and our administration and all of that. Other than that, I don't have a lot to add to these reports, but if anybody has any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Any other questions? That's a regular report. Thank you for doing that. Also, we had met because of the upcoming events, and they're well conditioned to keep up with this information, but this price and cost of readiness, and when we have to surge like this, we do track that, and if there are federal opportunities to recover or state opportunities, we do try to do that. Again, couldn't do it without finance in the end, filling in the back piece for us, but the department heads do have a responsibility and obligation to make sure that they're tracking and keeping with those. And because we do have some of that, and we build in for some of it, but in major events or multiple events in the same year, it could put extra pressure on the budget. But they do a great job. We met, and everybody, thank goodness we were blessed that we caught a little warm patch of rain that helped wash off some of the ice that was accumulating, and put more of it on the ground than on the trees and the wires here in Bedford. So we're blessed for that. So thank you for that.
I did want to add to what you just said, because Mark Thomas was dealing, and I think all the emergency services, with the train derailment, and we will be reimbursed by CSX for some of that. So I think they've applied for that.
Okay, we're ready for quarterly reports.
Okay, the quarterly report is the same information as the monthly report, and this needs to be sent to the commission.
So moved.
Okay, so let me clear this up. We need a motion to approve all the reports, but specifically send the quarterly reports to the commission. Is it?
I'll take that.
Okay. Any questions on that? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, we're moving on. We got Board of Education surplus.
Second.
Okay, motion second. All in favor? Any opposed? All right. And we had it on the agenda to talk about the IT overtime. At this time, speaking with our department heads and looking at this with finance, obviously we're capturing real-time cost, and we'll have to make an amendment before the end of the budget year to level that. And then Josh and his team will be putting together in their budget proposal for next year for actually a comprehensive plan that would cover and address the live streaming and the other responsibilities that are coming along through the IT department. So I don't think it requires any action today unless anybody has a concern that we would be doing a budget amendment at the appropriate time that would reflect correcting those extra costs. Does everybody understand that? You okay with that? All right. We're ready for other business. Now here we've got 2 or 3 things that have come up after the fact. So Robert, go through those.
Okay, the first item is a contract for a copier. This is with Michelle Murray's office, and it's beyond 1 year, so we need to get that approved and sent to the commission also.
Okay, so we need a motion to send the contract to the commission.
So moved.
Okay, motion second and third. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, the next one.
The second item is a resolution authorizing a continuous 5-year reappraisal cycle, and that also would need to go to the commission. And Rhonda's here. If you have questions, she can tell you more about it.
Right. We're currently, this is staying with the current structure that we have. Certainly is my recommendation. She's welcome to come to the podium and speak to that. But with a new administration going to be coming in, a new commission going to be coming in, to me, it would make sense that we stay steady with the current processes that we have. But what say you?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And with the, I don't think we're going to see the growth we've seen, in the last 5 years. And that kind of shows with our ratio between the one at 2 years and then the one at 4 years. It went from 0.6556 to 0.6222. So there wasn't a huge movement there. There still was some, and of course property values were still going up, and they're hit and miss now. I mean, I feel like it's leveling a little bit. I don't think it's going to drop. I think it might creep up more. So I think the 5-year is going to be the way to go. Now, once somebody gets elected, they can opt to shorten that reappraisal cycle or adjust it. So they would have to come to the commission, but that is an option for you.
And again, have a new administration, have a new commission, they could evaluate that for the value of it at that time.
Yes.
Also, is it still true that the state is really trying to decide if they want to change what your options would be as a county for reappraisal? Is that still?
Well, the comptroller has seen that the ratio is a problem, and counties lose a lot of money from that ratio. So they offered this option of doing a 4-year and index every year, which means you would have a new certified rate every year because it's like a mini reappraisal. You factor everything back up to 100%. That is an option some counties are going to take. Some counties have gone to a 3-year, and I know Knox and there's one more, went to a 2-year reappraisal cycle, Sullivan County. So,
But this does put more demand and labor intensive within your current office.
Yes.
When you do that. But you
Yes.
can appreciate a more accurate penny value, you might say, when you're setting your tax rate by doing that.
absolutely.
Right.
So, if the manpower's there, I think it could be done. But you've
Right.
got to have the manpower to be able to do it.
Right, and when we're on this 5-year cycle, which we're on, and I think we'll see if this is the recommendation to send it to the commission who will ultimately decide. The 5-year cycle means that we live with that value for the 5 years.
Yes.
And so if they were in the future to go to this other model, they would potentially get some relief on true values when they're looking at what penny rates would be and the opportunity to make the tax rate reflect accordingly.
Yes.
It's an
Yes.
efficiency issue. It's not a matter of you can't do what we're doing with the 5-year model, correct?
Right.
Okay. All right. Is everybody, I mean, it's a little bit confusing, but like I said, I really do think that it wouldn't make sense to recommend a change in the midst of everything that's going on, knowing what we know about how things are timing out at this time.
Well, and again, like I said, I don't think we're going to see the huge increases in value. We still have some creeping up, and we've had to make some adjustments. We're not finished with the reappraisal. We'll be finished the end of this month. But we've had to make some adjustments because of increases, so.
Right, and people will still have the opportunity to come in and have that explained to them and share any anomaly that they would see.
Oh, absolutely. There's going to be an appeal process, informal and formal. We do an informal for 2 weeks just to answer questions for anybody that's worked on the reappraisal, hands-on. State people come in, a couple will be in the office, so they'll be there too to answer any questions that the people have.
Right, so any rights or process or due process they're entitled to now, they will continue to have.
Yeah, absolutely, regardless of what cycle
Who you
pick.
were on, correct.
Mhm.
Okay. Is there a motion to send it to the commission? Oh, okay, wait a minute. Oop. Well, wait, I thought we were doing these individually.
However you want to do it.
Yeah, we did the other one individually, so we need a motion to send.
Make that.
Okay, without a recommendation, or with the recommendation to stay on the 5 years, or what do you want to do? Okay. Okay, motion second. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, now I believe there's one more.
Okay, we've got 3 contracts for copiers for the school system. And all of these are on the state contract, but they go beyond 1 year. So these 3 also need to go to the commission.
Move to approve and forward on.
Okay, motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, any opposed? All right, did I miss anything? So we're ready for announcements.
Can Rhonda go back and explain the dates and the process on the special election?
For your office.
Okay. There will be a special election for the office, but it will run with this election coming up. So the February 19th deadline does not apply to this special election. They will open up that you can pick up papers to run March the 2nd, and it will close on March the 11th at 12 noon. Now, You have to pick up at that time whether you're going to run as a Democrat or Republican in the primary, or if you're going to run as an independent in the general. You've got to pick up papers by the 11th of March, 12 noon.
Turn them in.
Yes, turn them in.
Right. Pick them
Pick
up.
them up
start-
on the 2nd,
Right.
sorry, turn them in on the 11th at 12 noon.
Right, but everybody that wants to seek that office, whether they're running by party or independent, must qualify at the same time.
Yes,
Right.
yes, if you miss that 11th deadline, you're out.
Right. And they currently cannot pick up papers for your office yet, right?
No, not until March
Right.
2nd.
Which is why they're calling it a special election,
Yes,
even though it'll be on the ballot at the same time.
right, it's just, it's on this ballot because of the timing with me going out the 28th of this month. It allows them time to run it with this election cycle.
All right, thank you. Other announcements up here? Yes, Commissioner.
I've got one. I want to thank Mark Thomas and any other people involved because he helped get us some shelving for our records, and that has been a great help. And I know Jared Featherstone came over and cut the lumber to go on the shelves, and on behalf of the finance office, we appreciate it.
It's always good people doing good things, but we also need to hear that. All right. Any other announcement I'm missing here from the floor or the committee? All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?